When it comes to making money online, the key is to focus on the task at hand. Like today, yesterday, last 7 days, last month, the focus here was to create content to let people know how the products that I was promoting as an affiliate would help them. Now, one of the ways that I can do that is to use PLR. And these are some example PLR files, these text files right here, that have content in them that I need to get organized. I need to figure out how to organize them, to rewrite them under my brand and my own tone and my own voice. So what we have is the traditional way with AI and PLR is we take it into our AI LLM, our artificial intelligence large language model of choice, and we talk to the AI, and this is the power of these LLMs, as we talk to it like we would speak to a regular person, like a real person. JSON prompting, which is what we're going to geek out on in this video, and the only way I can really show this to you is to just geek out with you. So come along with me on this ride, strap in, buckle up, and let's do it. But to understand this, right, you can see these are the text files. Again, these are just text files that I purchased a license to. This is PLR, private label rights content. I purchased the license to use this content as my own. So I upload it to my AI LLM, and I speak to the LLM like I would if I was talking to you, if you were my assistant, and I say, summarize the main points from the attached PLR articles and prepare to rewrite them in my brand voice and make sure they are written in the tone of a helpful friend with helpful advice and not criticism. That's not a bad prompt. It's not a bad way to get started because you're being pretty precise. You have a pretty good focus on what needs to be accomplished with this task when you're working with the AI. So it comes back and it writes a little narrative here or gives you output based upon your human formatted input, and it summarizes the PLR articles that you gave it. Here's a summary of the main points from the articles provided. Factors influencing stress response, personality type, attitude, coping strategies, managing stress effectively, acknowledge and address, get organized, delegate and say no, healthy outlets, use healthy outlets. Hopefully the summary provides a good foundation for you to start rewriting the articles in your brand voice. I can help you with that part too whenever you're ready. Again, now you know what's in these 3 articles in a nice, concise summary. What if I was to talk to the AI in its own language or have it present information that I could then take in a structured format, organize, and use it again and again and again and not lose the context because it is structured and organized? That is what JSON or JSON, a JSON template or structure, is going to do for you. So I take these same 3 text articles right here and I say, create a JSON template to accomplish this task. Summarize the main points from the attached PLR articles and prepare to write them in my brand voice and make sure they are written in a tone of a helpful friend with helpful advice and not criticism. The only thing that I did is I told the AI to create a JSON template to accomplish this task. So now it's going to format it. It's going to give me a project title. It's going to give me a brand voice, helpful, friendly, and non-critical. Then it's going to give me the articles. It's going to give me the 3 articles in order. And then it's going to break out the main points of the article. And then it's going to give me some rewrite notes right here. So now when I'm looking at this, I've told it to speak to me, the AI LLM, I've told it to speak to me like it would speak to itself as a computer in a structured JSON format. This is akin to programming or coding when you are writing programs or you're programming a computer. Because remember, an AI LLM is designed for us to chat with it like a human, but underneath the hood, this is the way it's trying to organize the data. So if you have it take the data, and that's all these files are data. These are just data points inside the computer you open them up as text files or doc files and you read them and you read the content. But if I take those and I load it up into my AI LLM, now using this JSON template and this structure, I can organize it. And then this is what it looks like. The title of the PLR article, the main points of the article, and then it gives me rewrite notes. Then I can take and reuse this, and this is what I want to dive into further in this video. And again, geek out with you a little bit about how this applies and what we can do with it. But I want to go back a step and I want to say, okay, explain the basics of JSON format with a simple example. And JSON or JSON is JavaScript object notation. And I'll go back and forth between saying JSON and JSON because when I first heard this and the first way that I learned it was JSON, but now a lot of people are saying JSON. So JavaScript object notation is a lightweight data exchange format. It's easy for humans to read, and you just saw that right here when we had it break out and summarize the articles, but also pay attention to what we wanted. We wanted to make sure that we are going to rewrite it in our brand voice and make sure they are rewritten the tone of a helpful friend with helpful advice and not criticism. Now over here, we have a project title, a brand voice, helpful, friendly, and non-critical. Then it's going to summarize each of the articles, which it does here under this array right here, which is an array of articles. And again, those are technical terms, but very simple to understand, but also very simple to see. This article, the title, the main points, and the rewrite notes. The next article, you can see it right here. The article title, the main points, and the rewrite notes. The third article, the title, the main points, and the rewrite notes. We go back to the human output based upon the human input, where I just spoke to it like I would speak to you or any other human. And it gave me a summary of these 3 articles, but I really don't know out of the 3 articles where any of this information came from. So it gave me a good summary, but the summary is now sort of mixed, matched, and jumbled together in just this output that is just a nice summary. It's not organized data, all right? This is going to make more sense as we keep going, all right? But pay attention to what I did here. You have the summary here, a nice summary with some good information of the main points of the articles, but not organized like you see it here, where I can literally, in just a blink of an eye, or just at a glance, look at article number 1. Why do some people handle stress better? Now I know exactly why do some people handle stress better? Text. This right here, this article, here is the title, the main points, and the rewrite notes. And now I have that for all 3 of the articles that I've uploaded, ready and loaded for me to use as I move forward to, say, write social media posts, or to use them, to use the data, to use the main points in emails as an example. So check this out. There's a link in the description to a piece of PLR from Tiffany Lambert called the Turbo Two-Way Personalization of PLR and AI, which brought me to the point where I created a bonus and I built a JSON meta prompt framework to use this Turbo Two-Way Personalization of PLR with AI, to use the frameworks, the information that she's given us in her PLR. When you click the link in the description, you'll see exactly what all this is. The prompt psyops JSON meta prompt framework. I built this so you can use the methods that Tiffany gave you in her PLR. I turned it into a meta prompt so you can take it, drop in any PLR, set a goal, hit go, and it works in any AI LLM. It's clear, beginner, and it comes with directions, which is part of this video. So click the link in the description, head over to this bonus page, read more about what I did here for you with this PLR meta framework, this JSON meta framework. Click here. It takes you over to the sales page where you're going to see what this PLR does and understand that this PLR is all about teaching you how to transform generic mass sold PLR content into original pieces that sound like they wrote them from scratch. You'll discover how to weave in stories in your own voice while tailoring every article, email, or ebook to the exact audience you want to reach with them. So we go back, and again, I'm showing you this PLR that I uploaded. Now I've set a brand voice here based on what Tiffany has described and shown you how to do, the way that she does it, the way that I do it, but programmed into data sets using this JSON format or this JSON format. All right. So click the link in the description. Check that out. If you got any questions, ask in the comments. This is the bonus right here. And part of the bonus is an intro to JSON. Most people see JSON and think, oh no, code. But JSON isn't code. It's just a way of organizing information. We're talking about organizing information. So just like this has all of these .text files in a folder under .text and all the Word documents under a folder, this is what you're doing with the JSON framework, with the JSON structure and template. You're organizing your data. These .text files, this PLR, is just data to a computer, and it's just data to the AI. Whereas we look at it, it's words on the screen or on a piece of paper. But what we're doing is we're starting to think, and now we can look at it and we can say, JSON is like a form you fill out at the doctor's office. You just need certain data. It needs to know your age, your weight, your height, the medication you're on, the last time you were at the doctor, your symptoms, your problems, your current illnesses, right? The things they're treating, all that in a form that they file in the computer. A spreadsheet row written in plain text, or a recipe card with the ingredients and amounts. So at its simplest form, JSON just looks like this. Favorite color? Blue. That's it. Nothing fancy. The word before the colon, favorite color, is the label called the key, and the word after the colon is blue. It's the answer. Okay? So there's some other information here that walks you through this intro to JSON. But if we go back and we just go back to the basic explanation inside of Gemini, and this is the power of AI, and this is the focus of this video, is to take the next step with AI and PLR and understand that we're just organizing data into data sets. So then we can use it for however we need, and we can call it up at any point without writing again and again and again, without writing this, summarize the main points, but not knowing where the main points came from, but instead being able to reference it right here under one array called articles. And the 3 articles, we have the title, the main point, and the rewrite notes, all right here, ready to use at any time. And then all we have to do is tell it what we need and what we want to use. So a different project, or maybe a different brand voice, or maybe we want to write an email or a social media post. We just give it the instructions here in the JSON template or the JSON structure, the JSON structure. So again, let's continue this and understand here now we're looking at a breakdown of how these 2 summaries are different and which one is the most useful for rewriting the PLR articles. So I fed it the JSON information, again with the project title and the brand voice, and then the array of articles, the 3 articles with all the information, the title, the main points, and the rewrite notes, versus the human format, which is just, again, a summary written as a narrative, the way that you would just read a paragraph. So I asked the AI, and again, this is us geeking out here, so hang in there with me, because this is what we need to do to level up our skills. We have to focus here, spend the time to understand the technology and the tool that we have now, this JSON template, the JSON structure, and we say, break it down for me. So the JSON format is the most useful for rewriting the PLR articles because it's structured, scannable, and provides explicit instructions. The human format is a conversational summary better suited for a quick general overview. So again, we're talking about structured, scannable, and provides explicit, nothing implied, explicit. This is what you must do. This is what I need you to do. Reference these data points. Rewrite this PLR following these exact instructions versus the human format. Conversational summary, better suited for quick general overview. Also, things can get lost. So in the JSON format, we have structure and clarity, we have actionable instructions, and we have a brand voice guide, all under the field defined at the top, setting the tone for the entire project. This ensures consistency across all rewritten articles. Remember, we're looking at 3 different articles. Here's how we maintain as we move from article to article to article. The computer, the AI, if it's structured with a clear set of explicit instructions, it's not going to forget, or there's a better chance that it's not going to forget and you have to remind it. The human format breakdown, the human-readable format is a conversational text summary that presents information in a narrative style. It reads like a short essay or report. It offers a high-level summary of topics discussed in the articles, which is good. It gives you a conversational tone, so it feels like you're having a conversation with an assistant, like a real person. But it's less actionable. While it provides the main points, it lacks specific article-by-article rewrite instructions. It combines information from different articles, which might make it harder to rewrite each piece individually. Why the JSON format is superior to rewriting: isolating key elements, providing explicit directives, and facilitating automation. Because the data is structured and machine readable, it could easily be used by a script or an AI to automate parts of the rewriting process, making it highly scalable for larger projects. This is a significant advantage over free-flowing text documents. So we continue this and we go, okay, give me a summary of the files. Give me a summary of these files to rewrite them. 1, 2, 3. And again, we're back here with just this summary, but we don't know what's what. So I'll say, now rewrite the articles with a helpful, friendly, and non-critical voice and tone. And then it rewrites them, but I don't know where it pulled the information from where or from what. And I don't really know what I'm looking at, other than I have some decent rewritten PLR articles that are different than what I started with. Organize these files to rewrite them in a JSON format. Now I know exactly what the title of each article is, and I know exactly what each heading is inside of that article, and then I know exactly what, where, and why I'm going to cite exactly what it is I'm citing as far as the heading that it rewrote. Then down here, I said open in the canvas. It didn't open it in the canvas, so I had to rephrase that. And I said, I can certainly place that content into a file for you. And then it opened it up, or I click here to open it up. So now I can access this, and it's rewritten the articles. It's rewritten the articles to match a tone more helpful, friendly, and non-critical as requested. With the new version focused on being encouraging and empathetic, here's the updated JSON file with the rewritten content. And now you can see the content organized, exactly what it wrote, the title of the article. Then you have the heading and the content of what's been rewritten for you to at a glance look at. Now in this case, JSON format and structure may not be what you want, and that's okay. Go back to this and just say, hey, I just needed a cool article to talk about stress that is a common issue that affects many people, but some individuals are better equipped to handle it than others. And it broke down and it wrote a nice little article for me, or to get started. So in this case, you might just want to have it give you a summary and move forward. You might not want to or need to be structured and sort of thinking about it in a programmatic methodical, right, way of getting this information back. So that's okay. So then we say, okay, give me a prompt template for rewriting PLR articles. Now this is where we're going to move into starting about thinking to do this again, because I have these articles and I moved into this world, in this case, this world, this niche, this topic of stress. I have all these articles. I'm going to be rewriting these. I'm going to be revisiting this data, these data points, this information. I'm going to be revisiting it. So I want to write a prompt and create a prompt template to rewrite them every time. So I've said, give me a prompt template for rewriting articles. And then it's given me a template, and it tells me how to use that template right here. This structured approach ensures you get a high quality, unique article that aligns with your brand rather than a simple, generic rephrasing of the original. But it's in that human format that narrative of a summary of what a prompt looks like. If I take that same idea, give me a JSON template for rewriting the articles, now I have it structured and formatted. And I know exactly what I'm looking for from these different values to include each section, so it does it the exact same way every time. So we take that example, we take this prompt template that we have here, we move it out of Gemini, and we go over to Claude, because any template that you create when you're creating a structured format, a template to take and reuse, or you're selling it, you want anybody to be able to use it in any AI, LLM of their choice. You take that, and here, we'll go back. You can see here is the PLR article rewrite prompt template. So I simply just copied all that, and I fed it to Claude, and then here's what Claude has to say about it. This is an excellent PLR article rewrite prompt template, and it is. You've created a comprehensive framework that addresses the key challenges of transforming generic PLR content into branded, valuable articles. Here are some observations about what makes this template particularly effective. And it talks about it, and it gives you some usage tips. Your step-by-step instructions at the end are particularly valuable. The emphasis on reviewing and editing the AI output is crucial. Too many people treat AI-generated content as final when it should be viewed as a sophisticated first draft. It should also be viewed as data that you're organizing, that you can come back and reference again at any point, anytime you need it, to cover this topic of stress for a blog post, for social media, to create a YouTube transcript, or to create a video transcript, or a sales page for a product that you're creating. All right? This template should help content creators transform bland PLR articles into engaging branded content that actually serves their audience. Well done on creating such a thorough and practical resource. Yay! It's giving you positive reinforcement because you've given it instructions in human-readable format. So now I go back and I say, okay, let's take the JSON template for rewriting PLR articles, and all it is the exact same information, just organized or structured the way a computer would expect the data points to represent the files, the data saved on this hard drive. I take and I copy that code, and I take it over to Claude and I paste it in. And you're going to get a completely different point of view from the computer, your AI LLM of choice, in this point, Claude. I see you've shared a JSON template for rewriting PLR, private label rights articles. This is a well-structured framework for transforming generic PLR content into unique targeted articles that align with specific business goals. This template is particularly useful because it addresses common PLR challenges, provides strategic structure, ensures comprehensive rewriting. Would you like me to help you with any specific aspect of using this template? For example, I could. What would be the most helpful for your PLR rewriting project? Let's get down to business. You see the difference now? Instead of this conversational tone of, oh, that's a really good job. It's a really nice, solid, great prompt congratulations. That's a great prompt template that you created. What would be the most helpful for your PLR rewriting project based on this data, the structured input that you've given me? Let's get down to work. So then you go back, all right, and you say, okay, well, how do I break this down? So I'm going to give you a little example here to show you like how you can take this and apply it to different tones and brands using this example. Give me a JSON template to rewrite PLR. I want to start with just my brand and voice and a call to action in the template, and then we'll add more later. So in this case, it's just building a project title, a brand voice with your target audience, your tone, your keywords, your brand promise. Then it's adding a call to action section, and then it has a place here for any additional instructions or notes. So you can add and delete to this, or add and remove to this anytime you want. So what that looks like is, it looks like this. This is a text editor. You just come in here and this is just a text editor. You would just simply take out the notes section because you don't need it. It's not required. Or you add in notes, or you add different keys here. And again, yes, you have to learn the language. You have to learn the programming language. You have to understand the structure and the template, but understand we can go back and explain the basics of the JSON format with simple examples, and you can learn the data types and the rules. You can see the following data types: strings, numbers, booleans, arrays, objects, null, and then a simple example to break it down. And you can see it's not that complicated. You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 different data types and rules. Some you may not use, right? Some you will, but learn all 6. Spend the time to understand the technology and the tools. So then we go back and we say, okay, now that we have this JSON template to rewrite PLR with our brand voice and a call to action in that template, let's create 2 different JSON templates examples from that, one for dogs and one for cats. So now we have a project title with a brand voice for dog owners who see their pets as family members. And then we have a call to action down here with the CTA wording of join our pack, because that's language that dogs and dog owners would use. Now the JSON template for PLR for cats, or an audience that is focused on cats, or if that's your niche, you're going to see here cat owners who appreciate their pet's independence. A call to action is going to be claim your free guide to a happy cat. Okay. And then the notes here is focused on providing value through expertise and high quality product recommendations using a calm, reassuring tone that respects the cat's independent nature. Up here, that note was focus on an actionable advice and emotional connection. Use a lot of we and you to build a strong sense of community, or the idea of joining our pack, because this JSON template is about dogs. It's about dogs. So it's a target audience for dogs. You would use this template. You would save and use this template when you're rewriting content for dog owners. And you would use this template when you're talking to and writing content for people that are cat enthusiasts or cat lovers. You see the difference there? It's a programmatic approach to organizing data. So now we take that back and we say, okay, tell me the key points for learning how to use JSON prompting versus human-readable prompting as a marketer creating content with AI as my assistant. And this is just us continuing. And I moved to ChatGPT because it's my AI LLM of choice. But now I'm just going to take the time to study JSON formatting, prompting, and structure so I can understand it. And I just used, and again, here I'm not using JSON prompting. I am using AI in that traditional sort of friendly way that we've come to know and love our AI LLMs. I'm just having a chat and I'm asking it to help me understand JSON prompting versus human readable prompting for marketers using AI. So this is the kind of thing that I do over in my school community and under my Prompt PsyOps brand. There'll be a link in the description for that. So you can join my school community. And this is part of my Prompt PsyOps philosophy for getting to know the tools and the technology, specifically AI, and how we can use the technology and the tools that we have available to us to really create and craft clear, more concise content. The last thing, or the next thing I want to show you is, right, now take this JSON template and make one that's specific to email and one that is specific to social media posts. And again, now I've taken it and I have the cat. I took the project, the brand voice for cats in that JSON format. And now what I've done is I've taken it and I said, okay, the project title here is PLR rewrite for cat enthusiasts for email campaigns. So the content focus, and again, this is just a specific data set, an array that says the content type in this JSON template is going to be email. An ideal length is going to be medium to long form, and specific notes is each email should feel personal and direct. The next one is a social media JSON template. So again, the project title is PLR rewrite for cat enthusiasts for social media, but you can see now the content focus has changed. So then I would just swap out content focus here. The only thing I would need to change is the content focus. And I could save them as different JSON templates, or I could just copy and paste, cut and paste inside of a text document and just change that out. For example, here, if I was using a different brand voice or tone, all I would need to do is cut and then paste in a new brand voice. And it gives me a structured, programmatic way to take these data points, which is this PLR, and then focus on using that PLR to make money like I did today, yesterday, and the last 7 days as an affiliate marketer. But again, understanding we're taking this information, in this case, PLR and taking AI and PLR, which is already a dynamic duo, but this is a dynamic duo upgrade to our tool set. When we really level up to understand the technology, click the link in the description and check it out. This PLR from Tiffany, check out this bonus, understand, really dive into and rewatch this video so you can see, right, what you get when you buy via my link, the Prompt PsyOps JSON Metaprompt framework, which is PLR friendly because it's going to take Tiffany's PLR that she's providing and it's going to break it down, all of these paths and these structures, these frameworks that she's created, that she's written out as something that you could read. And I've taken this human narrative content, this PLR from Tiffany, I've taken it and put it into a JSON framework that you can see right here. This is the full JSON framework. And you can see here, it's called the PLR Activator Metaprompt. And the philosophy here is clarity over cleverness and consistency over chaos. And it's going to take each one of these. And I built out this prompt off of the content that Tiffany has licensed to me and to you once we buy it, to use this meta prompt to structure our PLR to do exactly what we just talked about. Link in the description. Grab this. Again, if you don't understand it, watch this video again. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. There's also a link in the description for my school community where I'm going to break down more of this in the future, because this is the future and the future's now. So understand, we have AI, we've had PLR for a long time. AI plus PLR is the dynamic duo. Now with the JSON templates, right? We're upgrading AI and PLR from the dynamic duo to something new that hasn't been named yet. Link in the description, check it out. Grab this PLR, get this JSON meta prompt framework that I built for you off this PLR, which is how to customize and personalize PLR, a little meta in and of itself. Grab that PLR, go through. I have a video there for you as well with a brainstorming session similar to this one, but more of a exact, precise deep dive on this concept using Tiffany's PLR. And then don't forget to check out my school community when you have a chance. All right? I'll talk to you later. Bye.